All right. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining this session. While we are waiting for others, we'll just start. Since we have a meeting note taker here, we can always get the recording across to others, right? Daniels, are you here?
Yeah.
You can just do that, yeah. Emmanuel, I see your hands is raised. Do you perhaps have anything to ask?
No, the meeting was mute, so
I
it
didn't
was
get
I
that.
couldn't. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so I was indicating.
All right. So we'll just get started. All right, so you're all welcome to the product management. I like to call this an onboarding session just to get you guys familiar with how the whole program is going to run for the next 2 3 months. And yeah, actually, it's the next 2 months. So I like to think of this as more of a learning and unlearning stuff because nobody is an island of knowledge, and the more we try to learn with each other, the more we grow. So yeah, that's it. Now, particularly for today, what we are discussing is not going to be much. Just discuss the product curriculum, the tasks, assignments, the way you guys are going to be learning, the product sections, and then finally the track project. So someone used to say that the best way you can learn product management is actually through learning on the job. That is when you have a side project or you're probably working as an intern. That way you get experience to hands-on, or should I call it practical ways of how things are done as a practical PM. So it's not enough to just learn as it's not enough to learn the theoretical part. It's more important to get the practical knowledge to see how everything is done, to like get the real practice of everything. So yeah, that is our plan for this particular track. And then that wise we plan to have two stages for the learning tracks. First of all, we are going to have the novice tracks and then the entry level. The novice stage is basically to introduce you guys to the basics of product management, where you'll be learning things like the difference between product management and project management. I mean, a lot of persons have always asked the question if there is an actual difference between product management and project management. But yeah, there is a difference. While product management, I like to see it as where you have a building construction and then you have a supervisor who is supervising the whole building. Then in that building construction, you have like the ceiling of tiles, the interior decor, and then for that you have another supervisor who is monitoring that. That is, the interior decor would have to follow the plan of the supervisor. I don't know if anybody is getting my illustration. So the the supervisor can be likened as the product manager, and the interior decor supervisor can be likened to a project manager, which means in a particular product there might be several stages of projects which is to be executed by the project manager. So yeah, that's just like the basic difference. But then once we get started with the courses, there will be more elaborate what is it called, differentiation between the two. Then that's just the basis. That's what the basis is going to contain. The basis is going to include the difference, like I said, identifying a problem in the market, how to validate your problem solutions, and then how to prioritize your assumptions, as well as how to conduct market research. Because for every product, I mean, for every idea that you have as a product, it's an assumption. And then for that assumption to be validated, you need to like conduct research to make sure that it is really an existing problem that somebody is willing to pay for, somebody is really looking for solution for, because you don't want to end up building a product that is just like a vitamin. not really a problem solver, not really something that really solves their problem. I don't know if I'm not moving too fast. Is anybody getting what I'm saying? Hello?
You're not moving too fast. I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you very well.
So that's basically the product. I mean, the novice stage. Then the novice stage is going to run for like a month, because we plan to like have it scheduled in weeks or week by week session, whereby you have different topics and different course outlines for each week. Then each week comes with a task and the assignments, and these assignments can come in form of articles, it can come in form of research, and then it can come in form of presentation using PowerPoint, depending on the task. And then once that is done for the novice stage, you have your capstone project for the novice stage. After which, then we move on to the entry level stage. Now, for the entry level stage, the entry level stage is that section where you get to like have a practical solution to work with. So whatever is under the modules of entry level is going to be you practicalizing with a problem that you have already identified. So whatever you're going to be doing, whether it's the user interview, the user persona, it's going to be real thing. Like for example, you discover for example, like ABU, you discover we have a problem with ordering taxis. So once you have your product idea, which is ordering taxis like Uber, for example, just an example. So if you're going to be having that product as your project for that entry level stage, if you're going to be conducting user interview for it, you're going to be using real people from the ABU community, which means you're getting practical experience on the whole PM stuff. So you're going to be using real people. You're going to be drafting real user personnel. You're going to be working with the what is it called, the UX team and the Flutter team on how to like prepare a proper PRD, that is product requirement document, and then the product roadmap, which means that basically what it means is that you're going to be having practical experience on how to do these things. Now that's about the product curriculum, and as usual, it's also going to come with tasks and assignments that is going to be on a weekly basis, which you submit every Sunday. Every new week's begin on Sunday. It ends on a Saturday, rather, Saturday evening. So that is it about that. Now, on the tasks and assignments, yeah, the tasks and assignments is, like I said earlier, it's going to come in form of articles, research, and then presentation, which means that for every week, for example, this week you talk about market research, then on that particular week, on that market research, you can have an assignment that asks you to conduct a market research for a riding app, or conduct market research for a virtual therapy app, something like that. So that's how it's going to be. The same thing for entry level. Be reminded that it's going to be in stages. The novice stage comes before the entry level. So the tasks and assignments are going to come subsequently. Once you're done with the novice stage, then we go to the entry level. But the manner of the tasks and assignments are all the same thing. So then there is another thing on the take, which is the accountability scheme. So basically, this accountability scheme is to make sure that everybody gets to learn and unlearn with each other. Now, the plan is to have about 2 persons in a group, which means by the end of the session, everybody would submit their names and their email addresses. Um, Everybody is going to be paired in a group of two, which means 2 persons get to work together. You get to learn, you got to ask yourself questions, track your progress, because we don't want a group that is just dormant. We want somebody that is there to just ginger you, even if you don't want to do it. So once your partner is doing it, then you guys can be some kind of motivation for yourself, because to be honest, it's not easy to be, I mean, to keep focused on doing this thing. But then once you have somebody who is giving you the necessary motivation that you need, I believe everybody can move fast with that. So everybody is going to be paired, and then after each week, when you submit your assignments, you guys discuss together. When you submit your assignments, we have a form that does that. So the form is equally going to include what you find difficult for that week, which means if there is anything you find difficult to answer in that particular week, you're going to note it down in that assignment section. Then it will form our product sections. Now, this product sections is where we get to invite speakers, from various what is it called, at various walks of life, who are PMs, who are product managers, actually, who are practical product managers. These people are going to like attend to every questions that everybody have. Maybe, for example, in a week you find it difficult to conduct a user interview, or you don't know the right questions to ask, then we can decide that this week we have simply Azodo. Azodo is a product manager, sorry. So Azodo is going to discuss with us how to conduct a proper user interview, what questions to ask, how to craft open-ended questions, and how to like approach your intended users, how to recognize your users. So yeah, the product sections is going to come from the questions that you people find difficult. We don't just want to organize any product sections. Like, we don't want to we want to move with your progress. We want to move with the problems that you encounter during the learning stage, so that we make sure our sessions are actually patterned towards answering that questions. So yeah, that is it about the product sections. So before I move, does anybody have questions, or maybe it's getting confusing?
We can move on. There's no question for now.
Anybody else? Does anybody else have a question? All right. In case of no question, then I'll move on. So the next thing on the item is the tools that we're going to be using for this session. So basically, for a product manager, you get to work with a lot of tools. They include Trello, Asana, Jira, and all of that stuff like that. These tools are important to track your progress and everything. So for this track, we'll be making use of the basic tools for every product manager. So mind you, this tool is a view, like it is what product managers use, but then just to get you people introduced to the tools from basic level. So we are going to be using Trello. So if you don't have a Trello app, or you don't have a Trello what is it called, so you need to download Trello. So you send in your email account so that we can get you guys connected on Trello. So then, if there is any question regarding Trello, maybe you don't know how to navigate through the Trello, we can always have a session on that. But then everybody needs to download Trello, because from there you're going to be assigned your assignments. You're going to see your courses, the modules, the assignments, the links to submissions, the guidelines and rules, and everything. It's going to be on the Trello board. So everybody who is to be onboarded on this track needs to download Trello, and as well as submit their email addresses so as to be added to the board. Then we'll move on to the track capstone project. So for this track, like I said earlier, each track is going to, okay, somebody said I should write the name of, okay, I'll do that. For the trackstone project, like I said, everybody is going to like have a project that they are going to work with. So for the novice stage, since it's a basis level, so what we are going to be having is just a minimal project. It's not going to be too experienced, so that we want to make sure everybody is on the right track. So it's when you get to the entry level that we're going to be having the comprehensive product, or should I call it project. So for the novice stage, what you'll be having is just the minimal, like I said. Then the entry level is the one that is going to have you brainstorming real project ideas, because you're going to start, before you even start the entry level, you must have an idea of a product. What is it called? You must have a product idea, a problem that you intend to solve. So it's that idea that you're going to work on for the entry level stage. So you see, the real work comes in the entry level stage. I'm trying to write the app down. Okay. So the real work comes in the entry level stage. Now, for GDSC, there is, I don't know if I'm going to get this correct, because there is a program that is supposed to hold every January. It's called Solution Challenge. Sorry, the Solution Challenge is meant to like have people contribute to real life problems, real SDG goals. So every year, every GDSC, Google Developers Club, they all contribute all over the world. So it's like more of a competition. But then the lead, I don't know if it's online, if you can just shed a little light on this Google's solution challenge before I really move on. Daniels. Daniel.
Okay. So the solution challenge by the Google every year. And the solution challenge is focused on SDG goals, and it's for people basically to come together as a team, and come up with solutions that solve real life problems. So basically the mission for this year's 2020 solution challenge is to solve for one or more of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals using Google technology. So, and this solution challenge is basically open to members of any GDSC across the world. And GDSC is not limited to just EBU. You have Google Developer Students Club in different communities, different schools, different countries. We have in Nigeria, we have in Kenya, we have in South Africa, we have in Ethiopia, we have in Uganda, it's just all over the world. So you see this as a means to not just like learn, but also network with as much persons. And there is yes, just like I said, there is also cash prizes, and you get to win cash prizes. You get to be featured on Google's main page, developers blog, and you have a demo day live stream. So, and I think that even as product developers or product managers, basically there is just a whole lot we all have to play in this role. So yeah, I think that's just pretty much it. So yeah.
All right, so you've heard from him. So now, basically, the plan for this solutions challenge for everybody is that, like, for the entry level, the plan is for everybody to have a product idea patterned according to the SDG goals. If you don't know what the SDG goals is, you can go on Google to get more info on it. So everybody needs to, for the entry level stage, like I said, everybody would have a problem patterned according to the SDG goals, because like I said, we want to have practical experience. We don't want it to be so theoretical. We want it to be practical. So it's okay if you're not able to find. It can be stressful trying to brainstorm solutions to problems, but then the catch is everybody needs to have a product idea. Everybody needs to have a problem they are trying to solve, and these problems are going to these product ideas are going to be accumulated, and then we are going to have a presentation after. I'm talking about the entry level track now. A presentation where everybody gets to present their ideas in PowerPoint presentations. Then the whole team can then decide on the five best, what is it called? 5 best product ideas, which is going to be like developed from scratch with the developers team, which means you're not only getting to learn the product management rudiments, you're not only getting to learn, you're getting experience to working as a real life PM. So whatever a real life PM is doing within the comfort of their space, I mean the comfort of their home, you're also getting to do the same thing, because the whole what is it called? The whole cycle of a PM, whatever it revolves around in, is what we are going to display to you guys practically. You guys are going to have the hands-on experience. So it depends on you now to make sure that you keep up with the tasks and assignments, you keep up with the product sections, because like I said earlier, we are going to be having speakers, although the speakers are going to be patterned according to the questions and the what is the code that you guys submit. So we are going to be having the product sections. We are also going to have you guys having like doing the practical thing. We've been hearing PRDs, product required documents. You will prepare your own product requirement document. You will have what is it called? A collaboration with the developers team. You guys are going to brainstorm what feature is going to run for the next 2 weeks, which one is going to run for the next 3 weeks. So yeah, that's how it's going to be. And then we plan to have a collaboration, like I said, with the developers team. So they're also on board now. Like we have it on ground. So whatever we are doing, we are going to be keeping them abreast of the information. So when the collaboration comes, it's going to be very smooth and easy for you guys. So I guess that's pretty much it. Does anybody have questions? You can ask any question. Maybe there's something that I haven't explained. Maybe there's still something that you're not getting, so that I can shed more light on it, because that you guys are going to submit for the what is it called? The accountability scheme, so that we can pair you guys. Then by next week we start fully. So if you have any questions, please kindly ask your question.
Okay. My question is, can this be done virtually or it must be in person, physical?
The thing is, unlike other what is it called? Unlike other tracks, the UI UX design, the developers, whatever, which needs you to like focus on what they are teaching you and then do what they like practical. Product management is more of theoretical. You just need to absorb the theories and get to know them. The only practical thing about it that we can say we can have a live session for is when you want to like prepare the product requirement documents. So product requirement documents is the only practical thing, because it needs a lot of still, even the product requirement document is more of theoretical, because what you have there is just the introduction, the problem idea, the go-to-market strategy and all that. So it's more of theoretical. All you need is the resources. But then, depending on you guys, if we need to have a live on session, we can always schedule that. Like I said, it depends on your questions, what you guys have for us. So if you're having a problem with anything, you can always schedule a live session. But for now, basically on resources that we're going to provide. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much. And also, I want to get something important also. I want to ask if this work hand in hand with UI and UX.
If this what?
If this works hand in hand with UI and UX.
No, product management does not work hand in hand with UI UX. They are two different parts. Like I explained earlier, when you talk of product management, think of supervising, think of the word management. The only way you get to work with UI UX is when you actually need to prepare a, what is it called, a framework for your product idea. Although sometimes it is advised for product management to have UI UX design skills, because whenever you want to, whatever you're presenting, there's no way you have to present a framework for your product. So yeah, but it doesn't per se works hand in hand with UI UX. They are two different tracks. But then there are times that they meet. That is when you have to prepare your frameworks. That is when you need UI UX. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I just posted the link on the information on the chat box. It's the link to getting you guys to fill your names and email addresses so you guys can fill it and submit it so that we can get on with the team pairing. All right. So somebody asked, okay, about the two tracks under the unit. I should shed more light on it. Okay. Like I said earlier, there are going to be two tracks. We have the novice stage, or should I call it the novice tracks, and the entry level track. The brain behind this is that when I was getting started with product management, I what I did was learn on the job. I just got a product idea. I read about a lot of things, and then I was learning on the job. But because of the fact that I had no basis of how it was going to be, or how what it involves rather, I had a lot of setback. So the brain behind this is that the novice stage is going to like introduce everybody to the basis of product management. That is the novice stage. What is going to be there is just basic introduction to product management, difference between product management and project management, how to conduct user interviews, how to identify user personas, how to conduct market research, and all that. Then the entry level stage is different because it is more practical. The entry level stage is where I said everybody needs to, before you even start the entry level, you need to have a problem idea that you intend to solve because you're going to be learning on the job at the entry level stage. So it is this product idea that is going to be like every task and assignment that you have every week is going to be patterned towards a product idea. So maybe you decide to solve the problem of what is it called? Riding in ABU or food ordering. Maybe you want to build an app that contains all the restaurants in ABU so that when you decide to like order rice from Uncle T, you can just click on Uncle T's space in the app that you built and then you can order rice from Uncle T. Or you decide to order rice from IBIS, or maybe it's just a app like that. So if you're conducting a user interview for that particular app, you will be conducting your users will be within the ABU community. So it's practical. If you're drawing out a user persona, it will be a user within ABU community, a student who wants to order food but doesn't want to go out because he has lectures. He wants his food to be delivered to his doorstep, but he cannot go because he has lectures. That's a user persona. So that is an example of the practical thing. That if you're conducting a market research, you're conducting the market research within the food business. You get. So then whatever by the courses, as the courses progress, your assignments progress, your product is progressing. So by the end of when you're done with the entry level, you get to have a proper portfolio that you can easily add to your portfolio as a product manager. So this portfolio is going to include your product idea, which is whatever you must have developed when you started learning at the entry level stage. So the portfolio is going to contain your problem idea, the problem that you have decided to solve, which is the restaurant thing within ABU, the the user interview, your user personnel, your product requirement document, your product roadmap, your go-to-market strategy, your product metrics, and then your what else is there? So everything like that, which is like going to be the proper, which is going to show the proper practical experience which you have gained through the what is it called? Through the program. So when you prepare that portfolio, you have about 2 to 3 problem ideas in your portfolio. Even if you're going to like submit for, or you want to apply for a remote job, a recruiter who sees that you already have like 2 to 3 product ideas would know that you have already have a practical experience to actually deliver the value that they want for their product. So that is the gist behind the whole entry level thing. Does that answer the question? I think the person that asked the question was Omi Soya.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
All right. Does anybody have any other question? All right.
Okay, so good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I I have downloaded the Trivo app. So do I
Okay.
sign in from there, or you would give us further information as regards this?
Just sign in, like sign in on the Trello app. Once you sign in on the Trello app, fill the form that I sent that I sent to the chat box. Once you fill the form, I will get your email address, and I will add you to the GDSC board that is already created. The board is created already. So once I get your email, I'll add you to the board, and you see the stages. You see how the courses are structured and the assignments. So just sign on the Trello app and then wait for me to add you to the board.
I'll be looking forward to that.
All right. Does anybody else have any question? Maybe there is something I've missed that I haven't talked about, or something that is still not clear about the whole product business.
Also, I think some people here might not necessarily be on the WhatsApp group for product management. So maybe you
Yeah.
can just share the link with them so you can move on like the community basically.
All right. All right. I'll do that. I'll do that. All right. Does anybody have any question?
Yeah, personally, I was here for UI and UX.
Okay.
But from everything you've said so far, I think the product management and the UI and UX, I think from your explanation, what I take in was basically the whole concept, because the whole concept of UI and UX is almost the same thing with the product management. And I would love to do the same. I would love to do the both at the same time. I don't know if it's possible that way.
Well, I wouldn't say, it depends on you. But as a product manager, you all you need is a basic UI UX skill. But as a UI UX designer, you need to go deeper. Although the knowledge can work hand in hand, especially when it comes to, because when it comes to UI UX, there is a part where you get to like draft out your user interviews too. You want to conduct your user flows. You want to know how responsive your users are to the designs. So sometimes you might need the research, the product management mindset to conduct that research. So it works hand in hand. in that particular aspect, but then there are two different fields. So it depends on you what you want to do. You can decide to be a product manager who is very experienced in the UI UX skill. It's a plus for you actually, and you can decide to be a UI UX designer who is experienced in the product management field. But it can be a bit tiring to balance the two. I mean, to be a UI UX designer at the same time and be a product manager at the same time, because as a product manager, you're not only working on the design, you're working with the developers too. You're not only doing the design, you're not only working with the developers, you're working with the sales and the market strategist. You work with the sales, you work with the developers, you work with the shareholders, I mean the owner of the product that you're working with. So it is broader than UI UX. You know, UI UX is just limited to the designs, just the designs. The what is it called? What do people call it? The frameworks. Yeah, but product management is broader. You're not limited to the designs alone. You work with different people within the company. So that's it. So it depends on you actually. It depends on you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate.
You're welcome. Does John have any question? Can see your hand is raised.
Well, I raised that hand when I wanted to ask my first question.
Okay. So if you haven't filled the form, please kindly fill the form. I will share it to the product management group once we are done here. I will share it. So it's very important for you to fill the form. So do make sure to fill the form so that we can get started. So in case of no question, okay, somebody is raising their hands. Please just unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, I want to ask the WhatsApp group. Please do not forget the link so that we can enlighten ourselves more.
The link to the form.
Product management. Yes. No. Not the form. The WhatsApp group for product management.
Okay. You're not on the group.
Yes.
Are you on the main group?
Yes.
Yeah, I will share it. In fact, let me just do it right
All right.
now. All right. In case of no question, does the lead? Do you have anything to say before I just?
No, not at all.
Okay. I'm trying to get the link.
I have helped you with that. The link is on the call now.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So the person that asked for the link, you can just join directly through the link. So subsequent information will be shared on the group, and every update and every other thing that is needed will be shared on the group. So for those that missed the meeting, in case you have your friends who have missed the meeting, the link to the recording session of the meeting will be dropped on the group link so that everybody can access the information. We don't want to have anybody that is lagging behind, or should I say that is not really fully informed of the whole session, so that when we get started, we won't have people asking questions that have already been answered or getting lost in the whole process. And like I said, there will be a live session for navigating through the Trello board app once everybody is onboarded, so that everybody will get familiar with the app. But it's quite easy to navigate through though. It's not that difficult. Right, so if there is no question, do you think it's okay to call it a day? It's not even 1 p.m. yet. in your forms, your emails and everything, so that we can get started with the product market track. It starts next week. God's willing, next week. All right, should we call it a day? All right, you're welcome. You're welcome. Were you saying something?
No. I was saying thank you for the session. It was an interesting one. Yeah. So we can call it a day.
All right, thank you, group, so that it will be fully